I don't have any major updates at the moment. Tony, we have been taking the edits that you've sent in and having them done and getting them checked as we're getting updates that they're being completed. I think we're just waiting on the updated PDF document for the HAI session. I saw you responded back this morning and said you were waiting to hear back from the SME on that one. Is that correct?
Uh, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure if I was unmuted. Yeah, actually, she just sent it over and I'm getting ready to send it now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. We had our first office hours yesterday. It seemed to go well. We had two people in attendance, but seemed to be helpful. Also, Tony and I got to spend a good amount of time just going through stuff for next week and making sure that things are being updated on the platform. Um, we have another office hours today and then another one again on Friday. So I will be on those as well. Um, and Tony, thank you for explaining the polling process. So I know what it is to explain to anyone that joins today or Friday, so they don't necessarily have to worry about doing the polling themselves. The health educators will take care of the polls. They just need to say some kind of words to prompt you all so you know that they're ready to start their poll, but I'm sure it's probably also on the slides as well. Um, are there any questions on your side or anything that you need from us right now, Tony?
I do want to say that, and I think Courtney has some questions that she needs to ask, Courtney Price.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Thanks.
Um, I do want to say that, and I know I expressed this last year, and I'm going to express it again this year, that it's disheartening to open up the site and have so many mistakes and have so many things that are incomplete, have so many things that have not been updated. Um, and I know that there are some things that like pop that I didn't send to you all, but still having a notification to us knowing that these options are missing could help avoid the platform being open and this information not being accessed. There has to be a better way to make sure that the website, the platform is up to date and ready and presentable for our users. Now, I know that you all had admin access. I do believe moving forward that somebody on the NHSN team needs to have admin access prior to us opening up the platform. That way, we can go in and check. I know I requested this last year. I requested it to be available for us this year. And that's what I thought we were getting when we were able to go in and take a look at it. But it was not, because it wasn't until you all opened the site that, I was able to go in and see all these things that are still wrong on the platform. So there needs to be a way, and I know I said this last year, that somebody from NHSN can go in and review the platform before the users. Because for them to go in and the very first on demand doesn't have images, doesn't have, whatever information, that's a disservice to our users. That does not make it seem like we are providing the best type of educational experience available. And we can do that. But for me to open up that site and see those pictures not being there, and that's because I didn't have admin access to go behind the scenes and see if the platform was set up straight, or the fact that you all did not check that information and then come back to us and say these things are missing. Now that sits bad with me. And when my lead is our two leads on these are full-time employees at NHSN, are reaching out to me because things that I know I suggested still aren't changed. Like Vicky Russo's name being on the platform. like she's no longer with the project, but I requested that information to be changed and it was not done. Now that right there is really upsetting because I really don't have time to go back and forth to review the site for changes that I've already submitted or that people are sending me emails, because that takes time from away from my day to respond to them to issues that I know that I submitted already. And this cannot happen moving forward. I am really disappointed in the way the platform has not been reviewed. And Monica asked you all about the review process. Like, we didn't even know when stuff was updated. I just had to go in and check. I feel like you all should have let us know, that you all should have said, Tony, this information has been updated. You started doing it, but before I just have to go in and see if it's been updated or not. And again, this morning, going in, clicking on links and seeing that they're all leading to the same document. That's unacceptable. That is absolutely unacceptable. And I don't know what mechanisms, checklist, process that needs to be put in place for this to not happen again, but it needs to be done because we have the platform open and people can't access information. And that's unacceptable. I don't know if anybody else has anything to add, but I'm just really frustrated this morning with how this platform has been introduced to our users. And then I have a question, and then the evaluations. Um, and you all can address that if you want to. I don't know if, Monica, you have anything you want to add to what I just said, but I really am frustrated about that part. And then I need to talk about the evaluations.
Before we get,
So, oh, go ahead,
um,
Courtney.
um, yeah, okay. So my questions were pertaining to that too. I am manning our training mailbox this week, and I've gotten a lot of questions from users. So I'm not going to reiterate, but what I think I'll do, because Tony, you've kind of addressed the issues that I'm seeing in the box. Downloads, when they click links, handouts aren't being able to be accessed, or the downloads aren't properly opening, or they're opening to something different. So what I'll do is I'll just take inventory of that and create a list and then send it to you, you know, Tony, to pass along or whatever. Because it's
Okay.
too many to address one by one. But yeah, I that's what I wanted um to discuss. So yeah, I'll just create an inventory. But that's the question that I had to ask is, were we aware of this? But I see now that we're aware of it. So I'll just send up my concerns.
Okay. Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate that. Monica, did you want to say anything? I saw you come on.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Tony, you pretty much summed it up in terms of our experience this year. I just, because it is counterproductive to be a week away, less than a week away. But it would be great to understand the process and who's responsible for what at this point. It'd be great for us to even know what the exchange is with you and V fairs, just to help us better understand um, the full it just would help us meet and see the what our expectations should be going forward from rainmakers.
Um, I'm sorry, Monica, were you finished speaking? I didn't want to cut you off if you were done.
Oh,
If you weren't.
yes, that's
Okay.
all. Thank you.
Um, Monica, Tony, and Courtney, thank you for bringing these things to our attention. And again, I feel like we discussed some of this yesterday, Tony, but I do apologize for the errors on behalf of Rainmakers and you not um, being able to have the appropriate access to be able to go in and view things on the platform prior to it opening yesterday. What I can tell you as far as our exchange with VFairs, um, we are sending changes to him. I try to consolidate them all into a list when I send them to VFairs so that they can do them. And then they email me back and let me know that things are done. Now, what I can tell you is when I'm reviewing what is done, sometimes he hasn't completed everything. And so I have to go back and say, no, you didn't do this, and you didn't do that, and you didn't do this. And so I want to make sure that all the things are done before I email you back and tell you to go in there and look. And so I apologize for not um, communicating every time that he's been done, because when I'm expecting it to be done, it's not. And so it kind of falls off my radar because now I have a whole other list of things that are coming in from you all that I need to look at and make sure that he is doing them correctly. I was out of the office a good portion of last week. I do know that I spoke to Courtney right before this call, Courtney Marshall right before this call, and she told me that she did have a conversation with VFairs last week about their lack of attentiveness and uh, the issue that they're having with not paying attention to the details of things, specifically like colors not being changed and things like that. Things that he's saying that he's done, and then they're not done. And so just like there are things that you have pointed out to us that have been incorrect, we have also pointed out things to VFairs that have been incorrect. And again, I do apologize for the experience that you as well as your users have had this year with the opening of the platform. And we will definitely be having discussions internally as well as with VFairs how to better streamline this process and how to make sure that we have adequate time available for you to review all of the materials in the platform as they should be prior to opening it for your users. So again, I do apologize, and I'm sorry that last week, unfortunately, I was out. Um, but going forward, obviously, I will be here for the next 2 weeks, and we will do everything that we can to rectify the issues that we've had, um, and to make sure that going forward, your users as well as yourselves have a much better experience with the platform this year and the trainings going forward.
Yes, we appreciate that. And just, whatever like Monica said, whatever the expectations are for the review process, because in my mind, as the customer, we are like Delta check reviewer, right? Like VFair should have someone review and make sure that the information is updated on their side before you all review it. You all should review it. Maybe two people on your team review it to make sure, and then we come in because we're not really reviewers for the information that I'm sending you. We should just be reviewers to say, okay, yes, everything has been added, everything has been done. Like we should just be doing a high level review of the information. We should not be identifying any of these small things. When it first started, like the credentials were connected to the was connected to the name for some people, and then it was connected to the titles. Like, it's just been really weird this year, as far as updating the application. And I know that I think that a documentation of the review process needs to be identified and provided, and
Okay.
also a way that we know that things have been updated, because then we'll know that it's been taken care of as your client.
Un- Yep, understood. Understood. Um,
Um,
Like if
oh, go
there's
ahead.
because
I
there's
had
a
a question
share
about
folder, like if
evaluation.
it's,
I'm sorry, say that again, Monica.
I was just thinking, if there's, shared in the share folder, if you have like a checklist or something that we can see that's done, that's outside of even email,
Sure.
just thinking
Yeah,
out loud.
I usually try to put the edits as they come in. I try to, especially if we get like a lot of them, I put them in an Excel document and send them to VFairs so that they can check off each item
Hmm.
and send me back the document. But again, I was out last week when a lot of that was going on, so I'm not. I'm kind of just coming back into to everything yesterday. So I'm trying to pick up
Understood.
the pieces of what was done and what wasn't done. And so again, I do apologize that I was out this week, but it was a family issue that I had to attend. Um,
I understand that,
but
Kim, but you
usually
have
that's
a
the process that we
yeah, and I understand that you were
understood.
out, Kim, but we have 5 people on this contract.
Right.
So that's no excuse. And we appreciate, you just trying to smooth over this situation, but absolutely not. There are 5 people on this contract, maybe 4. And there's more than enough people to have your back when you're out of the office because life happens. And that's when everybody else should step up.
Yep.
So in my mind, it's Rainmakers, period. It's not Kim. It's all of Rainmakers because Rainmakers has the contract, not you, Kim.
Understood. Thank you, Tony.
So everybody on your team is at fault for not making sure that this site was up and ready for our clients, for our users.
Understood.
So with that being said, please let us know, your review system and it's moving forward just in case some things that still go on for the rest of this week. If we can get that, hopefully by close of business tomorrow, maybe.
Sure. Yep.
Um, and let us know what that process is or who's checking what so we can,
Yep.
where it lies. Like, okay, the first check is by you, Kim, the second one is by Tia, whatever the case is. So we'll just
Yeah.
know kind of like where it is in the process.
Yep.
And so, yeah, please let us know that. And then we also wanted, we're going to, I think it should be implemented for PAC too. Don't let me speak for you, Courtney, but, PAC needs to have the same, have a better experience than what we're having. And you must give somebody admin access. We don't have to have admin access at the very beginning, but when you all are putting that site together and it needs to be reviewed prior to going to our users, somebody on the NHSN team needs to have admin access so they can go in and review the site as it is being built. That is a
Thank you. No
must.
problem.
And Kim, is that a problem? Because like Tony said, it was requested last year and this year. Is it a concern of VFairs? Is that doable?
Not that I know of. No, not
Okay.
that I know of. Not. I've not heard that that was a problem. I mean, because in essence, we're VFairs' client, right? So it would just be like giving the client access. I don't see that there's an issue with it. I'll double check with VFairs, but I don't not to my knowledge. I haven't ever heard of that being an issue.
Okay.
Um,
And it's just a
yeah. So
review, right? It's just a review. We're
yeah.
not going in making no changes. We're not adding anything. All we
Well,
want to do
honestly,
is
you
go in
can't
and
you
review.
can't make any changes because we can't
Yeah.
even make changes. We can just
Yeah,
Right.
hit
like
and
that's
tell
not
them what
it.
they
It's
need to
just
fix.
to
Yeah,
review. It's just to
yeah,
review
Yeah, just to review real time, you know,
yeah.
prior to opening.
access. Yeah.
No
Right.
problem. I will have that discussion with. I think we're scheduled to talk to V Fairs tomorrow, so I will have that discussion with them tomorrow, um, and make sure that going forward, someone on the NISN team or persons on the NISN team have admin access so that you all can see everything being built as as the
That's
documents and everything are coming in.
yeah, as it's happening. Yeah.
Yep.
And
Because
Kim,
that'll be
and
very
like
helpful.
to
I'm sorry,
piggyback
go
on
ahead.
what Tony was saying as far as the process, even include, and it may already be the email communication. It's just like yesterday's platform is now open. Like that didn't hit inboxes until 5 o'clock,
So
5:02.
he sent me because I kept asking him like I know I'm on the email list.
Hmm.
What like and he told me that he sent it and he and I'm like okay, and then he's like I'm gonna do a force send again, like I guess where he had to push it through versus just scheduling it. And he was like, because of the amount of people, he said it was like 25,000 people on the list. He said because of the amount of people that were on the list, it was taking a long time for it to send it. Now I had not experienced that before because that wasn't the issue with any of the other emails that we sent or for any other projects that we've had. So I'm
Right.
definitely going to ask him why was it different this time, because when we sent an email last week or the week before, it was
It's
no
never
issues.
been right.
Right. So I don't know if there was a glitch or something going on yesterday, but that
Okay.
wasn't our experience the first time we've sent emails or any other emails that we sent during this experience. So I'm not sure what happened. I'm also going to ask his supervisor as well, so
Okay.
that we have an explanation for that. Um, Tony, I'm in the process of writing the email that you asked for this Monday, this upcoming Monday. So I'll have that over to you by the end of the day today, so that you can review
Okay.
that. And then just keeping in your awareness that you wanted to decide if you wanted to send the post event email on Friday or the
Mm-hmm.
following Monday. So just keeping that at the top of mind. Also, I believe, Tony, you said you had a question about the evaluations.
Yeah.
Um,
And then Courtney and Monica, I want to discuss that in the HE meeting on Friday. The question is, and this is just in case I forget, I'm gonna write it down though, but um, the thing is, do we want to send the overall evaluation email on Friday at 5 o'clock after they've been through 5 days of training? Thanking them for attending and participating, or do we want to wait and do that on Monday? So that's the question at hand that Kim is referring to.
Discuss
Uh,
it Friday in our meeting.
yeah,
Okay. That's a good
I'm gonna
question.
write me a note, but just in case. Okay,
So,
so
oh,
oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Courtney.
nope, that's okay. I'll talk about it offline.
Okay. So now this only happened once, and so I wanted to discuss it with you all. I thought, or maybe twice. I don't know if it's the same person, but they're completing the evaluations for next week today or this week. It's
okay,
only
so what we could do is, you want us to have them go up as the day ends, or like at like halfway through the day, like Mondays go up maybe halfway through Monday,
yeah.
Tuesdays
What y'all
go up
think about?
halfway.
Yeah, that might work. What you think, Monica and Courtney P? Because right now all the evaluations are listed for all of
The
next
whole
week.
week. Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
saw that. I saw
we've
that
only
last
had
night.
one person do it, but that just mean that person might have been an Eagle Beaver. Like I don't know how many people have taken a look at the videos. I don't know if you all can get that information, but if you can grab that information, like watched the videos, could you please send it? Because I just want to see how it's going.
Yes, I'll
Um,
ask you.
okay, but so only one, I've only had one response, but still, like you messing up our survey because it's not pertaining to, and I know the ones that they did actually have video. So it was one for SSI and then the one for digital measures. So they watched the video and then they went and did the evaluation, right? Thinking that was the evaluation for the videos when it's not.
That's what I was
So
gonna
that's
say. The
what's
Mm-hmm.
happening, Monica and Courtney.
is
Mhm.
there evaluations for on demand? There's not, right?
There's not. They just take
They're
the
just for the live.
questions. Yeah, they do answer the I think they call survey questions that VPS has added, and
Right.
then
Mm-hmm.
they get the certificate of completion. So they no, there to answer your question, there is no
I didn't think so.
evaluation. Yeah.
I saw the
Is
notes for
there
certificate because I actually
is
listened to the digital measures last night, but I saw the certificate.
Oh, did you? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yay!
Mm-hmm.
Good, good, good. So what do y'all think that we should do them? We should definitely do them by day,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, I guess midday you can drop both of them. How does that sound?
Midday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
because
it makes sense to me, but what you want to do, I'm sure that they can accommodate
oh,
it, but
Kim, you're breaking up.
midday I think makes sense because I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Okay, it's better now.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Midday I think probably is best because then people will see, okay, there are two. So
Mm-hmm.
they won't just finish the day and not go back to try to, do the second half of the day.
Yeah.
They'll see, okay, let me do this one after sessions are over. I would also say that at your end of day wrap up, constantly remind them, like, if you haven't done your
Mm-hmm.
surveys, please do your surveys, because they will log
Yes,
off the call and move on with their lives.
absolutely.
Um,
I definitely
yeah.
understand that. So yeah, I like that option to do it midday, like right before the lunch session, or right before, like 11 o'clock maybe, because we'll should have done, majority of it. Mostly lunch doesn't start till 12. I think that
Okay.
might be the earliest lunch.
Yeah. All right. No problem. I will have them to hide them for now, and then
Okay.
Mondays will go off around 11 o'clock. And I'll make sure that that's the process going forward for the rest of the week. So
Okay.
I'll just make sure I put a reminder in my calendar to double check that they're up by 11 or so.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that because I was like, survey response. Man. And I was like,
Well, that's
seeing
the
that.
person that went through the whole platform. They went to every page. They went
Yes,
over
and I was
everything.
like, okay, this is not right. So, let's do something to stop this. And it's only been one person. Everybody else is, that has accessed it has not done that. But, I thought that it's best that we be proactive.
Agreed. Okay, no problem.
I think that's it. Anything else, Courtney
Mhm.
or Monica? But Courtney, thank you so much. I had no idea you were getting tickets like that. I know you said you had some questions to ask, but it's good to know that, I'm not just thinking about this, that this is actually happening. So um, we can get that taken care of as soon as possible to rectify missing missing
I,
content.
yeah, I believe the swag bag has been updated as far as the items in there. I'm gonna double check it. I did just get an email back saying that it was done, but
Well, they
I'm
took it
I'm
off the tab. I mean, I guess that's fine.
let me look at it.
Yeah, they took
I,
it off the tab up at the top.
okay, all
And
right.
they
I'll
may
check.
have added it back. No, they removed it there and just kept it in resources. So swag
Okay,
bag is no longer at the top.
so it's not in the navigation bar anymore. No, that's not what we
Correct.
asked for. So yeah, I'll communicate with them about that. Um, and then,
And then again, once they have been the updates have been made, at least for the instructional tour,
mhm,
just
mhm.
let me know because I want to go ahead and send out an email to our users, letting them know and then giving them the link
Okay,
to it. And then, if they want
okay.
to look at it, they have to log in. But
But at least they have it. Yep.
yes. Hmm.
Okay, no problem. I'll make sure that that's done, and then I will send you an email back. That way, you know that it's done, so you can go ahead and send out your communication.
Okay.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
no problem.
Anything else?
Nothing else on our side. Um, and then I think I saw your email for the document that needed to be updated for
Mm-hmm.
HAI session. So I'll go ahead and
Mm-hmm.
make sure that that is replaced on the platform, and then I will. Then we should be all set to go as far as that's concerned. I'll also make sure that the instructional stuff is done correctly so that you can send out your email. I think that's it on our side. And then I'll be on the call at 11 o'clock today for office hours, and then again on Friday.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Anything else from us, Monica or Courtney P?
Not at this time. Thank you.
I just put a question in the chat from a user. So
I
just
was able
make
to
note of
download
it.
all of the handouts for the next week, except,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
that's
that's the
the
one we're working on.
one.
That's the one that I'm
That's
sending
the one
today,
we
Okay, you're
need
Courtney.
to.
aware of?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All
that's
right,
the
that's
one.
it.
Yep.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Hmm.
tell them, I mean, you can just tell them that it should be up, by end of business today, that the
Sure,
file was corrupt. Yeah.
sure. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Thank
All
you.
right,
Have a great
everybody.
rest of your day.
All right. Thank you all. Okay, bye-bye.